Hey everyone, I'm Becky,
I'm Sarah.
and we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we are talking about It Came from the Sky by Chelsea Sedoti, I'm going to say, which I got, I believe, off of Edelweiss.
I got it off NetGalley.
So this book takes place in farmland, Pennsylvania, where Gideon, who is a junior in high school, is basically trying to do like a scientific breakthrough so that MIT would notice him. And I don't exactly understand. We'll talk about this in a minute. But basically, he was trying to create a seismic event that would be registered at Ohio State University in Columbus. And so he's going to blow something up. His brother Ishmael says, I'm going to help. So instead of making a big explosion, Ishmael doubles the explosives so they have a huge explosion. So they're going to get in trouble. And so when their parents say, what happened? They say, it was a meteor. Well, that starts to get around, the story starts to get around, and they realize that people are kind of like think the meteor story is boring. So Ishmael decides to tell people that it was an alien, and because he wants to pull this epic prank. And then Gideon's like, well, I can see if we can convince people of a hoax and make it into a study, and then maybe MIT will notice me. So they start to have this, like, create this hoax. But things get complicated because their little sister gets involved. The boy that Gideon's kind of dating, Owen, doesn't like the fact that he's lying. And then there's a whole thing where his mother has been selling vitamins for part of this pyramid scheme, and the person who runs the company, Oz, shows up, and he's trying to manipulate the situation for his own advances. And the book is kind of cool because it's told partly in first-person re-encountings, but there's text messages, there's reports, there's articles, there's emails. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say, it's not really multimedia, but
Yeah, it's mixed media, I think.
mixed media, kind of, yeah. So it made it read really fast.
I'm trying to figure out where to start. I think what I'm going to start with, though, is while I didn't notice it while I was reading it, when you kind of break down the plot and describe it, I realized that this book should have been written for a younger audience. This would have worked better if they were fifth graders, and and Gideon was trying to go to a science prep school or something.
See, I don't necessarily think that, because I kind of liked some of the, like, I liked the story with him and Owen. And I don't think you can do that with a younger audience. So my thing is, I was explaining to my brother yesterday the book I was reading, and his point was, I don't understand how an explosion is going to register somewhere and get you into MIT. And I was like, that's a good point.
Science, that's all I have to say. I don't know.
I don't, yeah.
And I also think when you bring up Ohio State, there's a litmus test for if you know Ohio, and she didn't pass because everybody knows that it's the Ohio State. Everybody knows that you have to say the because these people, Becky included, pay for the.
I
So
did
you
say that.
include the Ohio State,
It
and
says it on my diploma.
when you
Right over
don't,
there.
you know that you don't know Ohio.
See, and it didn't bother me as much with that one. The one that bothered me, and I can't remember who the author was, it was called The Big F, and I remember there was a part where she's like, and for some reason, people who go to Ohio State University make this big point that it's the Ohio State, and it's so weird, and I don't know why anybody would do that, and I'm like, because that's the name of the school!
I paid for that name.
It's on all of the signs, it's on my diploma, so
It's the Ohio State.
it is.
Well, and I think kind of talking about the Ohio State and the Ohio litmus test. I think the first book that she wrote, which I didn't read, but I think you did. I think you had problems with it because it included Ohio setting that wasn't right.
I don't remember, I just remember I didn't care for it.
So I'll have to look into that. But like, if it was problematic in another book, then perhaps she needs to get not sensitivity readers, but like Ohio readers to make sure everything checks out.
But and I don't know, because like the Pennsylvania stuff might be incorrect, because I really only traveled through Pennsylvania. I don't know, but going back to the book, I like
That was a serious digression. I think it plays important to like setting and
It does play into setting. It does. It does. I have this thing, like, I feel like people want to base books in Ohio, but they don't actually, they've never been here. They don't know anything about Ohio. It's like, there's a movie called The Battle of Shaker Heights, which was written by somebody at Ohio State who won Project Greenlight. So, like, when I was at Ohio State, they made this movie, and they couldn't afford to film it in Shaker Heights, so they filmed it in California, and there are palm trees. Like, it's a great movie, and like I saw the person who wrote the book, or who wrote the screenplay, speak at the Wexner Center, and like, there was a big event that Miramax did there, but at the same time, there were palm trees. Anyway, but we need to talk about this book.
okay.
Okay. But no, I liked it. I can't decide how I feel about this book because I feel like it wasn't like a really book, if that makes sense, because you have all these other things going on. So it's hard to tell. Like, I was entertained, but like there's not a lot of character development and there's not a lot of plot development, but it was fun to read. Like, there's a whole part where Ishmael decides to kidnap somebody's cow because of it was funny, and it was quirky, and like there's a part with, I don't know if this is, I guess I'll mark it as a spoiler, but the little sister decides she's going to see if she can start a cult, and it was like, and just like the way she's doing it, and like Gideon walks into a room and she has like all of these disciples listening to her, and it's ridiculous, but it was like, it was entertaining. Like, I would watch a movie of this.
Well, and I think kind of as we unpack it, like I really think that some teenage boys and teenage girl readers are really going to respond to that quirkiness and the weirdness and the pranks and the,
Right.
because they don't really call it a prank, they call it a hoax. They're like, we're just going to do a hoax and see how this is how our town reacts to it, and use that as a way to get into MIT.
Well, and then, which I don't know how that would either. But every so often they'll come up and they'll be like, these are other famous hoax, and like they break it down and like they tell you, and they're real hoax, and it's funny, and like I enjoyed, like, Gideon does have some character development because he figures out his relationship with Owen. I found that amusing.
But I think related to character development, though, we were at one point we were talking about how I was saying that Gideon is autistic, and you were like, no, I didn't see, like, I don't think that that's right. I thought he was just like a nerdy kid. But like my thing is, like, I thought he was like hitting all of those, not all of the symptoms, but he was hitting a lot of symptoms as far as, having texture issues, needing to have routine, not liking to have unexpected touches or be like hugs or anything like that. And then also, I lost my train of thought. It was the touches. It was,
He wasn't good with eye contact.
yeah, he talks about that. He doesn't like eye contact. So just those different things to me means that she's kind of implying that he has autism without actually saying it.
Which I didn't really see that. Like, I was reading it straight as he was just like a nerdy kid. So I guess it could go either way. I don't know. So like I said, I felt like the stuff with the vitamin company, like, that went a little, I didn't need that, but it also felt at that point like we were almost reading a farce. So it was okay. They have this like giant lava lamp in the middle of town, and that cracked me up.
I wonder if one exists somewhere, because I kind of want to go see it. Like, I want to see this life-size lava lamp.
Well, it was 60 feet tall.
Like, I want to see it. You know, it doesn't work. Why wouldn't somebody redo it, figure it out, make it work? Like,
Right.
he explains why it didn't work, but like, make it work. I want to see a large lava lamp.
We have a small lava lamp downstairs.
But I want one that is taller than I am.
So yeah, so like there was like a lot of, and like in that way there was like a lot of setting build up, but like I keep going back to, like, I don't know how I feel about it, but I was entertained. And it's 500 pages long.
It was really long.
But it moved fast.
There was more development on side characters, side settings, side plots than there was on the actual core story. Maybe that was the problem.
I don't know. I feel like it was almost like one of those slapstick comedies from the 60s where like your main characters are just like kind of going through life and then like all this like crazy, almost like a Wes Anderson movie. All of this like weird stuff's going on around them.
Yeah, I mean, I was entertained. I had fun. I thought it was funny. I did like Owen, and I did like his friends too. Like, I don't know, Cass was interesting.
Cass was interesting, and I think Arden's the character you can relate to.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think his relationship with her also speaks to his potential for having autism, as far as he didn't know her for as long, and trusting her and opening up to her and allowing her into his world was difficult for him.
should we rate it?
Okay.
So our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns. We go down to 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse. Where are you? Where are you?
I think I'm solidly at a 3.
See,
That's
and I'm like at a 3.5, but I think I'm gonna have to go up to a 4 just because I was so entertained. And I honestly have not been the biggest fan of this author's past books, but there was something just silly,
yeah.
and I enjoyed the silly.
Well, I'm kind of glad that we talked through it, because I can definitely see myself giving this some more readers than I had originally expected. And actually, I definitely think more readers will enjoy this, because it has a kind of comedy that sneaks up on you.
Well, and I also think that it's a huge book, but it might be good for those reluctant readers because of the formats, because of how quick it goes, and because of the silly stuff.
Yeah,
Almost like I feel like you could almost do like a book scavenger hunt with this book. Like,
that would be really
yeah,
hilarious.
like as you read it, find I can't even think like
Find a cow, find a lava lamp, find a
right, right, like
deer, find a there's
so.
random object in this book.
That is where we are from on. That's where we are at. That's where we're at
Yeah.
on It Came from the Sky, and we'll see you around.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.